Welcome, Juventini, to the All Juve cast and its Champions League match day. Zenit versus Juventus, and that, of course, means that the trophy is in the house. All right. So there you go. Safekeepings for later on this season when we actually hoist the damn thing. We got Anthony, we got Cliff. We're ready to tackle this one and get things going here. How's everybody doing? Cliff, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Saving my kit for later on when the match starts. I'd love to put it on when the match starts. I usually don't put it on beforehand. I only do it once the match gets going. But I'm really, really excited.
There you go. There you go. And we got Anthony, and we might be battling some more boiler room issues. Hopefully
I'm very
not,
nervous.
Anthony.
I'm more nervous about Boiler Room Tony making an appearance than the actual game today. So if I start glitching, just kick me out and I'll come back in. All right.
All right. So we got two things to look out for: Cliff's dancing and Anthony glitching. Okay, got it. Got it. All right. So, fellas, we got a little bit to talk about leading up to this one. Delict obviously back, which is great news. Fully expect him to get the start. We will get to the probable lineup later on here, but that's always good news. There's a lot of rumors surrounding Delict and Raiola trying to ship him out, and I'm constantly getting questions about Delict, his future, even Chiesa's future for that matter. Is there anything you guys want to touch on as far as Delict goes and fans and how they should feel? We kind of finished off the last podcast saying basically I would not be concerned with Delict leaving at all. But it's strange to think about because there's even really no power play for Raiola to really make because the contract is set and whatnot. And there's really nothing to do. It's just kind of weird. Anthony, we'll get your thoughts and then Cliff's.
Yeah, you better get mine before my thing cuts out here. So it's always hard to gauge with Raiola, right? Name is, he's a guy trying to make money. Now he can't play both sides of the coin with the teams and the players. So which is maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later on a different pod. But it's weird. I don't think Juventus is going to let Delict go. He's obviously the successor to Chiellini. Him, Dybala, Chiesa are the spine moving forward. So I don't see him moving anywhere, to be honest.
There you go. Cliff.
So I've seen a lot of people. People have been asking me too about Delit, especially not as much Chiesa, but people have said, "Oh, you see this Chelsea news? Do you think he's going? Do you think he's going to leave? Is he unhappy?" Every indication is that Delit is happy at Juventus. You could see his personality on the pitch. You could see his body language on the bench. He looks fine. He looks content. There doesn't seem to be any animosity whatsoever. I think this is just all to do about nothing. Raiola is probably contacting Chelsea so he can maybe leverage a better financial deal for the next contract come around. Maybe he wants to get an extension sooner rather than later, but I see no way that Delit moves.
Yeah.
Maybe if somebody wants to pay that release clause, though, I said this, I think the last part. If somebody wants to pay 150 mil for him, God bless him. We'll take the money. We'll reload. We'll get better. We'll get other young talent. So it's fine.
Yeah.
He's not leaving.
And even to try and work a better deal or restructuring, again, not making a whole lot of sense to me. His contract is healthy, to say the least.
It's a great contract.
To go above that, with all due respect to Delict, who I absolutely love, there's no way. There's no way we're going to be looking at going higher than that anytime soon, in my personal opinion. But again, I say that with full respect and admiration for Delict, as he is a beast. But right now,
the question is, has he done enough to earn a bigger contract?
Well, that's just it. There are more comments that I get saying he's currently overpaid rather than underpaid. So, yeah, if we're going to look at that, for me, it's definitely, there's no way we're increasing that. So I think all things are good, and I would not go. I would not go any further. Enlightened Buzz here with where we got here. With all due respect, he does not deserve higher contract than Bonucci. So Bonucci and Chiellini have been grossly underpaid throughout their tenures with Juventus. That is something that is just that's a fact as far as they go, and it's kind of almost been great and something that the club should have taken massive advantage of. And certain years they did is getting those guys on such light contracts. All right. But that's Dybala. Dybala should be good for Sunday. Big Derby d'Italia. That's great, great news. Max clarifying things in the press conference leading up to this. Dybala is no doubt going to have massive impact. I mean, if you look at that Roma match, we needed that guy between the lines. We talked about that on the pod. Chiesa, it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit awkward, when he's trying to play in there. It's completely different. We may end up seeing something similar today, but we may not. There's a couple things floating around in terms of what we could see this match. We'll definitely get to that. DeCilio, news breaking out, of course, after a great showing by DeCilio that possibly he could be renewed. So if DeCilio gets renewed, and the other news was that Berna is still uncertain. My easy question to both of you, if you could renew one, who do you choose? Cliff.
So it's either between Berna and who else? I'm sorry. Or not
DeCilio.
DeCilio. I think it's Berna easily. I think it's easily Berna just because his versatility. DeCilio, you basically put him left back or right back, sure. But for Bernardeschi, he could literally play, like we've said before, any position other than CB and goalkeeper. He could play literally any position. Not saying he could play every position well, but he could slot in and do the job. So I think it's Bernardeschi easily. And if it's a 2.5 million like we've been hearing, I think that's a perfectly fine deal.
Yeah, there you go. Anthony?
I'm still worried that I sound like I'm in the boiler room. Is that
And right now it's good.
okay? Because I got Luca chirping me at one side, but DeCilio's had 3 good games, so let's just pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. Let's wait the whole season and see what happens. Sandro's having a resurgence under Allegri. Let's see what DeCilio does. Has he earned an extension right now? No. He's fresh in, so let's just wait and see. Give it maybe till January, and then I'll comment on that for sure.
Would you go Berna over him currently?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I agree. All right. So there's, of course, some other news floating around, but it's just targets and transfers and stuff. We're not going to get a whole bunch into that. We're going to get to this fixture, Zenit and Juventus. Now, when you're trying to come up with trivia between Zenit and Juventus, this is a tough task. I mean, they've only played each other twice, okay? So there was 2 matches. So let's have some fun, though. They played twice. Who was our goal scorer? As between the 2 matches, there was only 1 goal scored. So who's going to take a stab at this one?
I'm going to go.
Go.
It is Alvaro Morata.
Wrong. But you said it with such conviction that I respect it, Cliff, but no.
Did you say when the game was?
The game, I'll give you the year, 2008.
Oh, you basically gave it to him then.
Sorry, what year?
2008.
2008. I'm going to say Del Piero scored it.
It was Del Piero.
Well, you basically handed it to him on a silver platter. Let's be honest.
Peter Balistreri coming in here with ADP. Okay, Cliff. Okay, we'll give you that one. Take it easy.
Pump the brakes, Cliff. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Maybe you guys can play as a team. The dynamic duo here. Take it easy. Now,
definitely not.
Which player during those matches for Juventus was wearing number 19? 2008, he was wearing number 19 when we faced Zenit in those 2 matches. He started one of them, and he was on the bench for the second.
I'm trying not to look at the comments.
By the way, if you look up that ADP goal against Zenit, it was an absolute banger. Peter was right. Just a banger of a free kick.
19. I can't remember trying to remember who's playing back then. No idea. I'm gonna pass.
Okay. So I try to come up with these things. So not Zambo from Ballesteros. I want everybody to think about this because the matchup is Zenit and Juventus. Who was wearing 19? I picked this player specifically because when we sadly saw him walk away from the club, he went to Zenit.
Marquisio?
Marquisio.
He was wearing 19 back then.
He wore
Really?
19 for
That's
the
really
two
interesting. I
matches
never knew he
against
wore 19.
Zenit. All
Wow.
right. Now, Champions League. It's Champions League. Who is and with how many goals Zenit's all-time goal scoring leader in Champions League?
Is it somebody on the current roster?
No.
Is it Hulk?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well done. Well
So not
done.
only is he with the Avengers, but yeah, he was banging in goals in Champions League for Zenit, and we know that he's their leader. Do you want to take a stab at how many goals? Zenit too. You got to figure that. Hulk. Oh,
In Champions League, you're saying.
in Champions League.
9.
13. Close. Now we know our leading scorer in Champions League, ADP. How many does he lead Juve with?
In Champions League.
What's his total?
I think you asked this before.
He did. He asked us a few pods ago, and I'm really mad I forgot it.
14?
14? Del
Yeah.
Piero in
I was
Champions
going to
League?
say this is probably too high, 56.
43.
Oh, actually not
Very
too far.
close. Very close.
43?
Buzz with
Oh, yeah, I
around
guess he played
40.
around a whole.
Siraj now jumping in there. Ciao, guys. 48 from Ballesteros. He was close. 43 from our man ADP. Now, one of the final questions here. It is a final question. How many Italians played for Zenit, and who were they?
Oh, shoot. Well, we know one's Marquisio, so we know there's at least one.
There you go.
Anybody else from Juventus?
No.
No. Okay.
I'll
Don't give it to it. I want to see Ant just sweat. I want to see him sweat this out.
There's not many, I'll tell you
Other
that.
reasons.
I'm gonna go. There's 3.
You're right. There was only 3.
Okay. I just
3
can't remember the name.
Italians to ever play for Zenit. You've got Marquisio's one. Enlightened Buzz got one. We've got Pochetti and Marquisio. Crescito.
I
You
don't
guys
know.
wanna
All I
take
know
a
is
stab at any
Marquisio.
of
I don't
these?
know anything about Zenit.
Peter Ballesteros throwing Crescito out there too. So that's
I'm gonna guess
2.
Crescito.
Crescito is 1. You
Okay.
guys can thank the boys joining us live.
Thank you guys.
Helping you out.
Beat steak.
Crescito is 1. There you go. And the last one, I don't think you guys will get this one. Rosina.
Rosina. My
Yeah.
gosh. What a throwback, man.
Yeah, throwback for sure. So there you have it. That's a decent, I'm going to give myself the pat on the back for that trivia because it's not bad for a couple teams that have only played twice, and it was
Yeah.
back in 08. Come on.
You
Cliff.
dug real deep. You dug real deep for those.
I had to, man. I had to. Okay, so this matchup, we got Zenit, we got Juve. So broke it down on a tactical breakdown vid as some subscribers and whatnot asked. So late last night, there was a tactical video I put out just to give some fans an idea of how Zenit could shape up, what they could do against Juventus. It's basically still a bit of a guessing match. Their main setup and how they like to play is in a 3-4-3, Zuba being right up top. However, it depends on the opposition. When they played Chelsea, they completely switched it up and put in the low block, okay? And essentially they played a 3-5-2, but those two wing backs were just held back, and they formed that wall, and they tried to counter them over the top, and they left Zuba on the bench in favor of their quicker forwards to try and generate counters. They suffered a lot of possession, obviously, to Chelsea and whatnot. And yeah, are we going to see the same? Because they're at home, going to get into their 3-4-3 setup? For me, I think this is a tough one. I'd be surprised if they didn't get into a low block with Juve. Cliff, what are you thinking out of those two setups that we'll probably end up seeing?
So so the low block, you're assuming a 4-4-2, right?
No, their low block is a 3-5-2 with the wing backs coming right back.
Okay. So I'm assuming Malcolm's gonna play. So is he gonna play out wide then in a 3-5-2? He's gonna be the outside man.
I think they end up having him as one of
Up
those
top.
forwards, right? But he'll come in defensively just to help on the mids. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's tough because if you have the thing is the two people you really I've seen like a few times Zenit, like I've maybe watched them a handful of times. Really, their goalie is pretty good, so really you just have to watch for him. He can make some decent saves, and obviously Zuba and Malcolm are really the two most dangerous players on the attack. Zuba, I mean, what you said, the low block sounds like they're gonna just try to hold the back line and try to hold us defensively. If it's going as a stalemate, they'll probably run it out like that, and then they'll try to get like a lucky goal at the end or something like that. I don't see them pressing the action. I don't see them pressing Juve.
well, this is the thing. If they set up with Zuba, it's 3-4-3, and they're going to attack. Like they're going to try to go after it and open up. The problem with that is they open themselves up for our counter. Depending on the probable lineup, even actually both, they could leave themselves susceptible to really getting hurt if they want to open up too much. There's a reason that the main time they've played that 3-4-3 so far in Champions League has only been against Malmo. They've only played twice. Once was Malmo, once was Chelsea. So obviously they didn't have the confidence in playing that open against Chelsea, so they didn't. And they stymied Chelsea quite well. Chelsea beat them 1-0, and it took a aerial battle won by Lukaku to get that one goal. If Zenit goes into a low block, this will be very difficult for Juventus to get some goals and find some goals in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what I expect. If they try to run a low block, there's not going to be a lot available through the middle. I expect Chiesa and whoever else is playing in the other wing to try to get up and try to put in some crosses for Morata, for Keane if he plays, and try to just get something creatively in the air because I don't see a lot that's going to be available through the middle if they try to play that tight low block like you said.
Well, that's just it. But that's why like the 1v1s are going to be big in this one. And it looks like one way or another, we're probably going to get a split of Chiesa and Cuadrado and not see both of them out there. You're going to want a couple 1v1 guys in there, probably on both sides. Honestly, this is it's going to be interesting because it could go either way. Possession has been one of our weak points. And even in the matches when Zenit plays aggressively in that 3-4-3, they don't dominate possession. They don't they're still coming out with, a 55-45 average split, right, in favor of them. So against Chelsea, when they're in their low block, they surrender a ton of possession. I don't know if they're that afraid that they wouldn't go somewhere more geared to a 3-4-3. I'm not completely sold that they wouldn't actually want to play that way. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. If we're going to face the low block, guys are going to have to win some 1v1s out wide, or we're going to have to play much, much quicker than what we have been as of late to kind of catch them.
And if they want to play a 3-4-3, that's fine because they're just going to have a double pivot. And then I think we could dominate them in the midfield because if Artur is playing, I think you see a lot better of possession for Juventus. I think you see probably more in like the 60-65% range in terms of possession. I think we do a lot better compared to Chelsea. And then obviously Malmo was Malmo, with all due respect to them. But I think you see us hold a lot more possession against Zenit in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that again, there's a lot of question marks that we're not going to find out until very, very close to match time. And basically, Artur, Cliff brings up Artur. Artur is fit. He is able to play. Allegri said in his press conference, he doesn't know if that's going to be from the start or it's going to be during the match. Now, the way we see it again, um, it's still up in the air with Artur. He's a possibility of starting. The latest probable lineup. Well, this is one of the probable lineups I've seen, which is Chesney, Danilo, Delict, Bonucci, Sandro, Bentancur, Locatelli, McKennie, Bernardeschi, Morata, Chiesa. This is interesting. This one also should be noted is a 4-3-3. That's a 4-3-3.
So no
Okay.
Dybala.
So you would have Morata, Bernardeschi, Chiesa as your front three, and your mids would be Bentancur, Locatelli, McKennie. Um, that's one of them floating around. Another one had Chiesa not on the pitch, Quadrado on the pitch, and had McKennie and Locatelli as your two main mids, Bernardeschi on one side, Quadrado on the other, and Kulishevsky and Morata up top. I feel fine with both of those. But it was interesting as we talk about how Zenit could potentially play. And I think a 4-3-3 would actually be probably prime,
Hmm.
especially to hit them on counters and just put a couple guys in key positions to be able to strike and hurt them. Which would you personally prefer out of those setups, Cliff?
For me, I prefer 4-3-3 just because having the three men in the middle gives us a really solidified midfield. We can hold possession better. I think the interchanging play will be better having those three. Um, yeah, and I for the front three, I think the counter will be very prevalent for Juve. Having Chiesa is obviously super helpful, but you do have to consider obviously the Inter match that's coming up. Do you start him and do you have him? Do you just have him get subbed out earlier? Do you take him out in like the 65th to the 70th if we're a goal up or whatnot, or do you try to start Cuadrado, who can put in some really good balls on the cross, and you rest Chiesa for Sunday? That's really the questions that should be asked. But I think Chiesa, if you're going to win this match, you put Chiesa in the game. Um, but my question for you, Al, do you think Artur will start today, and over under on the minutes on 50 minutes? How many minutes do you think he plays?
I've thought about this quite a bit, and it's interesting. We were talking about this on the last podcast, and we were actually just talking about minutes, how you shape up against Zenit and whatnot. And Artur, for me, he represents. I put this tweet out actually on Twitter yesterday, and I just said he literally represents the one facet of our game that has been hurting us the most, which is possession. And when you look at other teams and how they hurt us, how they generate a lot of their opportunities, it's from possession cheaply lost by Juventus. If he can go, I would probably start him if he could. And I'd probably play him somewhere around, yeah, the 55 to 60, 65 range, somewhere in that range. If he's able to. I would, because again, possession, if especially if they try to not want to deploy their 3-5-2, then that's a huge bonus if they want to be slightly aggressive. Zenit does, seeing how they're at home. If
Hmm.
they do want to come out and try to be a little bit aggressive, and we have him to kind of soak up that possession, that's big for us. And then we've
Follow.
got him in a bit of a system setup
Mhm.
that might not favor them all of a sudden, that we could really exploit and attack a lot easier than if they go in a low block. We know Juve struggles in a low block. It's not just a Juventus struggle.
Mhm.
It's a struggle in general when teams set up that way. It's very, very hard. There's little to no space out there, and the technical guys become key. So again, I really like us if they want to go 3-4-3, but I don't think they will when we have guys like Morata, Chiesa, and whatnot that can really hurt you. on those counters. They didn't do it against Chelsea either. So they come out with a low block. We need the technical guys. And
Hmm.
that's where your guys like Dybala are massive.
Yeah.
So
So do you
for
think the
us now,
4-2-3-1 comes into play? Do you think they play that formation?
well, even so much as setup, it's the characteristics because
Yeah.
Chiesa is not your technical guy.
He's guy who's
And
gonna burn by you and beat you.
so how's he going to do that on a low block?
Yeah.
He's going to have some struggles, right? We've got to move the ball very, very quick and get, whether it's Quadrado or Chiesa into these positions to win some 1v1s and get a quick crossover. If it turns aerial, at least Morata's in there. But
Yeah.
again, not our strongest suit, right?
Yeah.
Midfielders, if McKennie's in the match, he's actually very, very strong aerially, so it's probably a good game to have him in there. He's the strongest out of the other guys when it comes to aerial battles, so it's not a bad setup. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot
Yeah.
to think about.
I think in this match, though, if you're looking to get up early, I think Morata's the right player to put in there because he finds a way to get a touch to the ball. He always finds a way to get the ball to his feet. So
There's
even if there's a cross and say it just starts bouncing around, he finds a way to toe poke it in or something like that. He always finds a way to get a touch on the ball. So I think he's a must start for this.
Yeah, we got some questions coming in. Luca saying, "Well, if Arthur starts, does Loca also start?" Locatelli starts
Hmm.
100%. And this is one of the things that when we look back to our discussion on the last pod, how was he going to line up? If Delict wasn't healthy, he said that Rugani would have started, and so thank you, Matthias. First off, okay, thank you, Matthias. But now we look at this side, and there's quite a bit of Allegri aggression in the lineups, on the probable lineups. He's going after this. This is a big step, getting this 3 points into qualification. So I like that.
I love this
I
mentality.
I
I love this
really, really like
mentality.
that.
Yeah.
Locatelli starts. The Derby d'Italia, Locatelli will start as well. I'd be shocked not to see Loca in, so for me, even if our tour starts, Locatelli does. But I have a feeling Arthur will come off the bench in this.
So we got Eric in here actually saying 4-3-3 Bentancur, Artur, Loca, Bernardeschi, Morata, Chiesa. I like
Y-
that.
That's the projection that we gave. Yeah, the
Yeah,
first one.
I just think McKennie needs to get some playing time. I think you need to put him in the mix. So I expect to see him
Yeah.
in this match.
The only difference in that one is that it has Artur in there. Again, I said I'd start him 100% if he's able to go and give you
Mhm.
55, 60 minutes without a doubt. Locatelli as the Metsala that can actually get up forward and support attack for sure. Again, it depends. If the low block is employed, and I wouldn't mind even if Bentoncourt's not in there and it's Weston, to be honest.
Mhm.
And the reason is if it is a low block and we have to start throwing some crosses in there, Morata and McKennie would then be the aerial guys, right?
Yeah, because honestly, like people have been ragging on McKinney. Obviously, he's had some off-field stuff that we're not going to get into, but his work rate to go back and forth and then to get into the box and find a way to get ahead to the ball on multiple occasions, I think that's really invaluable, especially against the Zenit team that you said that we expect to play a low block against Juventus. I think it'll be really crucial to have him in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, without thinking too much ahead with the Derby d'Italia, you got to think about it a little bit, right? But
Mhm.
Locatelli is too crucial to our midfield to not play,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I think Locatelli is going to play in more than probably 95% of the matches this season. I don't think he rests that much.
yeah, yeah. So again, it'll be interesting. There's still some question marks, and I like how Max again, even these projected ones are strong. strong lineups. He's going after it. I like that.
Yeah.
We have to go after everything. The Derby d'Italia is going to be a fun one for sure on Sunday. But again, we're in Champions League today. We're looking at these matches. This is what it's all about. We are going to have some fun. We're going to talk a little bit about how we think the match overall will go. We'll talk about some predictions and whatnot. And Enlightened Buzz bringing up a great point when we were talking about Locatelli, his importance to the middle of the pitch, him probably playing a high percentage, like Pjanic, who never got a rest. And
Mhm.
essentially, that's correct. Pjanic was the guy, and you'd see him all the time. And right now for us, Locatelli is that. He is the same. He is without a doubt our best midfielder, especially when it comes to the ball distribution and progressions. Artur will add his own strength, which again is the possession and being that holding midfielder for us. It looked good for the short cameo against Roma, but it really helped me settle down in that one because Roma was looking strong. And all of a sudden, Artur comes into the pitch, and I had this calm feeling about me, as he came in and he looked good, strong in possession, and he was working it nicely with Locatelli. And it was great to see. Allegri speaks a lot about that, even talking about training and just saying that, look, Artur 100% raises the quality in this team.
Mhm.
So far, Allegri himself, he said all the right things. I think he's pushing the right buttons in terms of player management as well. Would you agree, Cliff?
I 100% agree. And a quick point with Artur, he just did such a good job at taking the air out of the ball, so to speak, at the end of that match. Just slow it down. Don't let Roma get on the counterattack. But going back to Allegri, he's been pushing all the bright buttons, like you said. And I know everybody's going a little bit crazy when he made the comments about DeCilio, saying he's always had these characteristics in him, to be
Yeah.
a great player. I think this is just his way, like of obviously we know this is not we don't think this is true. We don't think DeCilio is like some immaculate player that's just been hiding in the shadows. I think Allegri just knows how to hit the right buttons for each individual player. Like some players need a little kick in the what. Some players need a little bit of a bump up. Like he just knows who needs what sort of words to stir them up, to get them ready, to get them fired up. He's just a really good man manager. And we've seen this before in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Luca coming in here saying, I agree he's crucial, but a mid with Arthur centrally without Loca can, in theory, still be successful. Weston, Arthur, Benta can work. The issue there, it's not so much an issue, it's just my personal opinion. We have too many guys, and this is why Loca is such a massive breath of fresh air and he stands out like a sore thumb to this team, is because we have too many guys that are too similar. So for me, you have a rotation between like Weston, Benta, and Rabio, personally, as supporting mids. I don't think Weston could carry the load of being the offensive creator out of this midfield. Arthur is your holder. Bentancur is your box to box guy that can stir things up, play physical, win the ball back. I see McKennie kind of in that sense. He's better offensively than Bentancur, but he's not strong enough offensively to carry the load of creation. What do you think, Cliff?
I disagree a little bit. I think Luke is onto something, but not for like the big matches. I'm not saying you would start
Yes.
this three in the big matches. So say against Sampdoria, with all respect to these teams, Sampdoria, Salernitana, like bottom of the half teams, with giving Locatelli some rest, you'd play this lineup, I think, because Artur holds the possession. I think McKennie is more of the guy who's going to stay back defensively and guard that back line. Except remember, at Schalke, he used to play center back at times, so he could play defensively, very defensively. And then Bentancur, you give him the reins to kind of go up a little bit more, attack a little bit more. We've seen him try to make through runs and people try to put the ball into him, he likes to go a little bit more forward. He doesn't like to sit back as much. He's very uncomfortable holding possession. He likes to counter. So for Luka's point, I agree. In some matches, that could be like a good spot start for those guys to get them some chemistry, and I think it could work, but not in a game against like an Inter or a UCL match. These are against maybe some lesser
Yeah.
matches that don't have as much importance.
So ultimately, when the match is on the line, you get your crucial guys.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Luca comes back with, so then Al, with that said, Aaron Arthur Benta. My
Don't
only
even.
rebuttal
Uh,
to this is, how on earth can you play a match while still laying on a medical bed?
yeah.
So give me that one. You've got two midfielders here, Luca. Who's the third? Come on. Yeah.
Aaron Ramsey is not a football player. He's a hospital patient. That's what
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah. And Alex P bringing up a great point with Bentancur afraid to shoot. How does he go forward? We watched McKennie play a strong match against Torino as far as getting in the right positions, getting in the right spots, but the execution was poor. His shooting from outside the box was woeful. And that's the thing. That's the difference. Again, these are supporting guys, not guys you can bank on, right? Locatelli is a guy you can bank on. That's the difference. That's the difference. Now, predictions. APF Killer 3, waiting for the predictions. We
Everybody
always
wants
have
to get
fun
right
with
to the predictions, man.
well, why not? Let's have
Yeah,
some fun.
let's do it.
Let's get into it. We're going to kick it off. We're going to switch it up a bit and get some of the tiebreakers out of the way first.
Okay.
Anthony's with us, always getting these down, holding us accountable, ready to throw any one of his teammates into the mud at
Oh, he
any
will.
chance. So let's get these predictions going. And of course, all of you, Juventini, joining us live. Let's see if you can make us all look bad as well. We don't need any help with that, but let's have some fun here, okay? We're going to kick it off again with the tiebreakers, and we're going to start with total offsides in this
Okay.
match.
So I've
So,
been
Cliffy,
contemplating this one for a few days now since I heard us mention this. I've been going between 5 and 6. We're going for just Juventus, right?
we're going to go total offsides.
Everybody.
And no, I think let's go total offsides
Okay.
Juventus
Okay.
just to keep things
I'm
a
gonna
little
go
bit interesting.
6. I've been going between 5 and 6. I'm gonna go 6.
You're going to go 6. Oh, sticking with
Oh,
Anthony. So I feel
Anthony's
confident
he's
now.
copying me, man.
I think I'm gonna go with offsides for Juve. I still anticipate a low block by Zenit. Maybe 4 or 5
Oh, you're going
total
with Luca.
offsides for
You're going with
Juve.
Luca 4.
Yeah, I'm thinking if it's a low block, we're not going to see many offsides
So,
unless we try and hit them quick out the back.
so
I'm going to go with 7. I'm going to go with
okay.
lucky number 7.
Ant said 4 for Juve, but 6 total for everybody. That's not how the game works, Ant, but okay.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say 7. I think 7. Now, the first card. What minute? What team?
This is tough. I'm gonna go Zenit. 35th minute.
35th minute. Zenit.
I think they're going to get a little bit frustrated because we're holding possession, and I think one of those guys is just going to lose his head and make a silly challenge.
Yeah, I think it'll be closer to the end of the first half. I'll go 43rd minute, and I'll pick Zenit to get the first card as well. Possession split at the end of the match.
I've been waiting for this. I live for possession. I love it. My favorite stat.
That's so weird.
I know it is weird. I'm going to go 61.5. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go 62 to 38 in favor of Juventus.
Okay. I'm gonna go with like a 57-43 Juve.
Okay.
57-43 Juve on possession split. Now, shots total attempts for Juventus and how many on target?
Well, I'm expecting Juventus to get a lot of shots. I'm not sure how many are going to be high quality, but I'm going to go with 12 shots. I'm going to go with 5 on target.
You're gonna go how many? Sorry.
I'm gonna go 12 shots, 5 on target. And my boy Giuseppe is in the chat. Thank you, my man, for hopping on. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Now Anthony coming in, 14 total,
Wow.
6 on target. Luca with 14 and 7. So I'm gonna go with 10 and about four on
Okay.
target. That's what I'm gonna go with. Halftime score.
This is the one thing I haven't thought about as much. I think the halftime score is gonna be Juve 2, Zenit 0.
Juve 2, Zenit 0 at halftime. Okay. And yeah, come on, Cliff. What are you doing? Stalking him at 2 a.m.?
I sent him a message when it was like 2 a.m. in Italy last night. So I did apologize to him for sending it so early, but I'm sorry, Beppe.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. Suraj saying Beppe is here too. Wow. Beppe, yeah, Beppe
Beppe's a hell of a guy.
yeah, great guy, great Juventino, obviously massive channel and whatnot, and always been friends of all Juve cast. So happy he's in around here too. Anthony coming in 2-0. So matching your prediction, Luca 2-0.
Everybody stole my
at the
picks today,
half
man.
here.
Everybody knows I'm on fire. Everybody wants a piece of the Cliff picks.
Easy. Anthony has seemed to sort his
back.
Stop taking my
scenario
picks.
out in the
No,
boiler
you're
room.
taking
Stop
my picks.
taking
Don't
the picks.
No. You stop taking my picks. This guy.
You have nothing that I want. Okay, I'm at Al halftime score.
So I'm gonna give my halftime score of 2-0 Juventus at the
So
half.
we're all doing the same.
We're all doing 2-0.
I don't like that. I'm switching mine to 1-0. I'm
And
not accepting that.
Pepe
No.
finishing up asking for subscriptions and maximum of likes for us and our channel. And it was the first time Giuseppe was on YouTube. I remember that episode. I just moved into this house actually, and I had a makeshift setup in the downstairs rec room, and it was a blast talking to him. He even busted out the Ronaldo bobblehead. I remember it quite clearly. Great episode, a lot of fun, and love having Beppe in the chat here. Okay.
Amazing.
Oh, and by the
Carrying
way,
on
just to
with-
answer Luca there, Luca, I can do whatever I want. All right. I'm the oldest. I can do whatever I want. So
You can't change. Yeah, Luca, come on, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, he's getting ready for retirement. Let him change his answer if he wants.
What's with
Thank
the
you, Cliff.
rules here, man? It's all UVcast. It's not Vietnam here, Luca. Chill out. Chill out. Okay, come on. Take it easy. Siraj has got 2-0, Morata and Bernardeschi.
You went specific with the shot takers.
we'll
Okay.
we'll get to the scores.
Yeah. Now, full-time score. Full-time score.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Juve.
3-0. Done. Book it.
I'm going 3-0 as well. We get 2 in the first half. We'll get another one in the second half. 3-0 I've got for Juve in this one. And what do we have? So
Yeah,
Enlightened
Luka
Buzz
goes 3-1.
finishes 2-0. Morata and Chiesa. Luca 3-1. Doesn't have faith in the clean sheet over
Which
there.
is fair.
away
I think
from
that's
home.
a fair assessment.
That's
Mhm.
fair. Goal scorers. So
I expect my boy Moise Keane to get another goal.
should we do it?
You can't because I might get kicked out. So then you're just gonna be by yourself.
That's a risk I'm willing to take. So told him enough times.
Yes.
Enough with the dancing. It's just gotta stop.
Yes.
It's gotta stop. So
You
5
gotta let
minute
it back in,
major
though.
penalty for Cliff. He's in the box. Let's continue on here. Goal score. I'm kidding, buddy. Kidding.
Bruh.
Take it easy.
Bruh. I didn't even get my second. I need to get my second goal score out. So, first goal scorer, Moise Keane.
You are actually on the verge of breaking the record, Cliff, for shortest tenure at all UVcast and being a team member because you're just on thin ice, buddy, with the dancing. I love how you're like, everybody's asking for it. Literally nobody.
Literally,
has said-
Rob has asked for it. Lorenzo was asking for it. Everybody's asking for the dance. It's trending, man, on Twitter. It's a trending topic. But yeah.
For what reason, though?
Because of my ability to dance, man, I just bring joy to people's lives first thing in the morning at 8:30 in the morning. People want to see something exciting, fresh, new. They don't want to see Anthony Boiler Room. They want to see Cliff doing the Moist
Yes, they
Keen dance.
do.
Well, then
I get
come
a
up
lot of
with a
requests
new
for Boiler
move.
Room.
They want to see something fresh and exciting, and it's the same Keen dance.
Okay,
Trust me,
maybe
if
By the
I
I'll,
way,
bring out
Moise texted me and he said if that little dancing fool does that again, he's not too happy with you stealing his thunder. He said, "Tell him to get his own material."
all right,
okay, I'll
who's
start
your
doing the
second scorer, Cliff?
Look,
okay.
this is what the people want. Cliff, man,
Clifton.
stop.
Clifton.
Luca telling you to go back to bed.
Oh man. Okay.
So listen to the people. Listen
Okay.
to the people.
So
Okay.
next time I'll do the Cuadrado dance instead.
Okay.
But
So
so the
goal
first
scores, you've got Keen.
I got Keen. I'm not gonna give any time because I can't think of a time that he's gonna score, but Moise Keen. And then I wanna say I'm gonna go Morata. I think those two get goals.
Okay. Anthony.
I'm gonna go with Keane, Chiesa, and Bentancur is gonna smash in a twice deflected goal.
I'm gonna go. Morata's getting in there.
Is he starting for sure?
What's that?
I was listening on YouTube. Is Morata starting for sure?
No, it's not a for sure, but I think he's gonna be in there.
Okay.
Morata, Chiesa, because it's Champions League. He'll find one. Chiesa, Morata. Let's go with who's going to be my. I always like to throw that one, odd goal in there, especially a matchup like this too.
Delict, do it.
No,
Danilo.
I went defender the last time I kind of did that, so I'm going to go with.
Danilo. Go Danilo. Danilo, the banger from 40 yards.
Bernardeschi.
Yeah, and I see Luca over there, laughing at me. But these kind of games always have that weird, that one goal that just comes out of kind of nowhere. Retractable roof stadium. Like, how awesome is this? It just calls for something weird to happen.
Yeah.
A win, hopefully, but still something weird.
Those are my goal scorers. The last one we have is man of the match. Way too early to predict man of the match. Who will it be?
So I'm
If you
gonna
start
go with
dancing.
no. I was just
Yeah, look
I was-
what you've done to Peter. He says it's 12:30 a.m. here, and it's going to give him nightmares. So stop it, Cliff.
I'm sorry, Peter. I'm sorry. I know it's Halloween. It's scary hour, so I don't want to make you any more scared. I honestly think the man of the match. I think in a surprising twist, we're gonna get Morata. I think Morata is gonna be the man of the match.
Interesting. Anthony.
I think Chiesa is going to blow the roof off of this game because he had a bad one last game. I think he's gonna shine. Man, but Locatelli's playing really well. I'll stick with Chiesa though.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go either Delict, Loca, or Chiesa. I'm rocking his kit though right now in the
Love
away,
that.
so I'm gonna go with Chiesa. I'm gonna throw him out as my man of the match. All right. We've got some shouts for Delict from Luca, Chiesa from Inline Buzz, Danilo for Alex P. So there you go. And ABF Killer coming in here with 3-0, Dybala hat-trick, Chiesa goal, King, Danilo coming fast from the back and don't want to see 2 goals. I want 3. There you have it.
I think we're going to need 3.
So we got our predictions all in. This is going to be a good one. Hopefully a massive step forward into qualification for the knockouts. We see Allegri's aggression coming through in the projected lineups, rightfully so. Let's get this job done, and then let's look forward to taking the Snakes on Sunday.
Let's expect though Danilo to have a quietly good game in this match because he's been quietly doing a very good job out the back. So I want to note that.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's throwing a ton of respect Danilo's way. He's been fantastic. Outside of his first season for Juventus, he really turned into someone we can depend and rely on. So I expect nothing less from Danilo. Guys, been an absolute pleasure, as always. Big game today. Zenit, we've only played them twice ever, but we hold the lead in the fixtures 1-0 because of an ADP absolute banger of a free kick. I tell everybody, go check it out. It's a beauty. Yeah, let's go into this one. And I think it's going to be a strong showing. Keys to look to: Artur, his involvement, see what he can bring and offer, and Chiesa's bounce back again after a poor showing. Granted, the reasons positionally, most likely. He's huge off the wing and whatnot. So let's see what happens. But full faith in the boys getting the job done. Let's get this 3 points. Let's get ready for the knockouts. And then let's take it to those Snakes on Sunday. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, we're going to be back tomorrow morning, same time, post-match podcast. All right. As always, Forza Juve. Fino alla fine. Hit that like button if you're in here, especially watching live, and you're watching recording. I don't care. Hit that like button. Smash subscribe. Stay with us. Forza Juve. Fino alla fine. Ciao.